Hello! Greetings mga ka-spacers natin out there. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Professor Jun Cajigal. And Happy New Year sa inyong lahat mga ka-spacers natin dyan. Hope all of you are doing fine and sana lahat kayo ay walang sakit. And tonight, the Vedan Society of Young Astronomers would like to start the year 2022 with a bang, featuring the works of the members of BSYA. So tonight, we will be featuring 3 videos prepared by the members of BSYA. Now, the first video is about myths and superstitions related to astronomy. So please, pakiusap lang po mga ka-spacers and iregalo nyo na lang sa akin ito to like and share our live stream tonight so that we can reach more people to inspire them to love the sciences. Okay ba mga ka-spacers? So let's watch this first video about astronomy and myths. So let's go mga ka-spacers!
Many astronomical myths have been around for 1,000 of years now, and up to this modern day. There are myths inspired by pagan practices and other ancient religions, from origins of comets to superstitions about the stars, from myths debunked by science to the existence of aliens. The universe indeed has no limits.
As Carl Sagan stated, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. And with that, a star-rific day, our young astronomers. I am Andre, and together with me are Jacob, Alexa, and Hannah. We are from the Vedan Society of Young Astronomers, and we will be sharing with you 12 common astronomical myths and superstitions about outer space.
It was believed that the stars were gods or other supernatural beings. Therefore, there is a myth that pointing at the stars is like pointing at a god, which could anger them because it was rude to point. Doing this could bring unwanted attention, bad luck, and even death.
Up next is myth number 2, the origin of comets. There were a lot of superstitions surrounding comets in the past because no one knew what they were or where they came from. Some believed that they were fireballs that would be sent by demons or gods to destroy the earth. Some thought that comets brought bad luck or that if a comet appeared, a king would die.
In some cultures, shooting stars are said to present souls being freed from purgatory will be making their way to heaven. Simply by spotting these fallen stars will bring good fortune to you. However, there is also superstitions wherein the type of luck you'll get is based on where the star is positioned. For example, if you see fallen stars on your right, it signifies you will have good luck, while on the left suggests you'll have a bad luck.
Myth number 4. The Great Conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, which occurs every 20 years, has been regarded as a sign of good fortune.
Given the magic associated with shooting stars, it's no surprise that there's more than one superstition linked to them. While many cultures suggest that gazing upon these stars brings good luck, some believe you can use shooting stars for more precise purposes. Myth number 5 is probably one of the most unknown myths. The first star that shines in the night sky each evening possesses a special magic, and setting your gaze on the first star that appears after dark and making a wish is enough to win your heart's desire. Worried about your empty wallet? Park yourself outside on a starry night and wait for a fallen star. If you say the word money 3 times before the star burns out, you'll soon be on your way out of poverty. Struggling with acne? Hold a rag or cloth over your blemishes as a shooting star streaks through the sky to get rid of pimples.
Myth number 6. Though the asteroid belt has always been regarded in movies as this very crowded place with absolutely no space to move, astronomers have estimated the distance between the asteroids and the main belt is about 600,000 miles from each other. For comparison, that is 2.5 times the distance between the Moon and our Earth.
Observing how the stars are positioned in relation to rings around the Moon can help you determine or predict the weather. A ring around the with a single star situated inside means clear weather ahead.
Myth number 8. Make it count. Counting the stars has always been considered a surefire way to bring bad luck. If you count the stars up to 100, you will die.
It was a myth that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space. However, many other man-made structures could be seen from the International Space Station, 250 miles above the Earth. It primarily just depends on your position.
Myth number 10. Summer is warm because the Earth is closer to the Sun. The Earth is not closer to the Sun when it is summer in the Northern Hemisphere. It's actually the opposite. The truth is, Earth is at its farthest point from the Sun during summer, not the other way around. Because of the tilt of Earth, it becomes warmer in summer. Earth's tilt permits the Sun's radiation to hit us more directly during its orbit.
Myth number 11. Existence of aliens. It is believed that Enrico Fermi developed the Fermi paradox about the existence of aliens. The physicist Enrico Fermi once famously asked, "Where is everybody?" after seeing a cartoon featuring a flying saucer in 1950. Many people believe Fermi's question, now known as the Fermi paradox, was about the existence of aliens. If other intelligent life exists, the logic goes, why haven't we found any proof of it? The Fermi paradox as we know it does question alien existence, but it's not named after the people who advanced this concept. That honor belongs to the astronomer Michael Hart and the physicist Frank Tipler, who refined the idea in the 1970s and 1980s.
Light years do not measure time as they actually measure distance. It defines by the NASA as the total of the distance that beam of the light moving in the straight lines travels in 1 year.
And that concludes our presentation for today, and we hope that you have learned a thing or two. See you on our next journey beyond the stars. Thank you for listening and have a good night.
Alright, so that was really an interesting video about myths and superstitions in relation to astronomy. So mga ka-spacers, kung meron po kayong mga tanong, if you have any questions or reactions or even comments about that first video, please feel free to type in your questions, your reactions or comments in our comment section below. And kung gusto nyo po magpa-shoutout mga ka-spacers, just type in your name and your location. Alright, so in our second video, we will be featuring astronomy and religion. So very interesting po ito mga ka-spacers. And again, kung meron po kayong mga tanong, huwag po kayong mahiya to type in your questions in our comment section below. And again po, pakiusap, please like and share this live stream tonight. Alright, so let's go mga ka-spacers!
Today's topic is reverence for the heavens, intersections of religion and astronomy. I am Samantha Asisio, your Kaspacer for today, along with our fellow Kaspacers. Let us launch off with astronomy and ancient religion that will be introduced to us by Micaela.
Good day, Kaspacers. Did you know that during the early history of astronomy, this was already associated with religion? It started when ancient civilization began to observe the behavior of the sun, moon, and several other planets and constellations. And then these cosmic bodies started to be defined and attributed with great powers in many cultures, including Egypt, Babylon, Britain, and Mesoamerica. They began to use their observable behavior to validate their actions and receive guidance through omens. Isn't that fascinating? Let me call on our spacer, Sam, to tell us more about astronomy and ancient religion.
The sun was the god Ra, worshipped in Egypt, whereas Orion, the constellation, was attributed to Osiris, the god of the afterlife. And Sirius, the constellation, was attributed to the goddess Isis. Planetary worship was also practiced in Babylon, where the pantheons include Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. The Sun and Moon were the major gods of the people who lived in the Salisbury Plain of England, as attested by the spectacular Stonehenge monument. Furthermore, special ceremonies indicated that the Sun and the Moon were also main gods for tribes in Africa. However, the Nhas of Nigeria thought that the Moon was the gentle moderating force which must be worshipped, while the Tamalba of Togo believed that the Sun is the creator and the creator must approach him first. There is some evidence that the Moon was also worshipped as part of one's ancestors in Africa, as the cause of death has always been attributed to the waxing and waning of the Moon. For the Mayans in Mesoamerica, the Sun was a major god and Venus was the patron planet for warfare. Different rulers took on different patron gods like the planet Jupiter. Thus, the objects seen in the skies constituted the gods for several ancient cultures all over the world, as their desire to worship and be guided by these gods would manifest itself in every aspect of their lives. Now let us move on to religion and astronomy to be introduced to us by JK.
Welcome, Spacers! Did you know that the galaxy's hundreds of billions of stars are so far apart that traveling at the speed of light would take a spaceship 100,000 years to cover the distance? Isn't it that fascinating? Another interesting fact is the existence of black holes. A black hole is a point of infinite density with gravity so complete that not even light can escape it. It may be unheard of to some of you, but there's a massive black hole that revolves around the galaxy's starry wheel. I mean, it's no surprise then that contemplating the cosmos may elicit the same feelings of awe and reverence as religious awe and reverence. This is not always a positive experience. According to Father Paul Pavel Gabor, an astronomer for the Vatican Observatory, when people are confronted with the vast astronomical proportions of the heavens, some may tend to experience fear and trembling in the same way they do when they contemplate concepts like God and heaven.
But fear none. We're here to help you conquer your fear of the vast and unknown. A way to help combat this despair, according to Gabor, is to believe in a higher power, a God that has created the universe as a gesture of love. Faith tells us that the universe is not something to intimidate, rather, it is something given to us as a gift by someone who wants to give us something nice, something pretty. So when we look at those astronomy pictures, we may either feel that the glass of knowledge is only half full and believe that we are being given a gift that we can use with responsibility and a lot of potentials, or we can also feel that the glass is half empty and that might just be frightening.
Here's a fun fact. The term cosmos means ordered world, and humans have believed that God created the ordered universe out of chaos for most of recorded history. A majority of people around the world still believes this, but aspects of that faith have evolved as our scientific understanding of the cosmos have grown. For example, Gabor's colleague, Vatican astronomer brother Guy Consolmajo, claims that while many people believe God created the universe, they believe its vastness prevents God from taking any personal interest in us. The speck of dust we call planet Earth is insignificant in comparison to the tiniest of stars, and each of our lives is only a fraction of a second in the grand scheme of things. Isn't that fascinating, mga ka-spacers? To add to this, let us call on our ka-spacer, Micaela.
Even the known Pope Benedict said that mathematics is one way to gain a better understanding of the universe in a different talk given at a different time. Quote-unquote, Galileo was convinced that God had given us two books, the book of sacred scripture and the book of nature, and that the language of nature, according to Galileo's conviction, was mathematics. So it is the language of God, a language of the Creator. The surprising thing is that this invention of our human intellect is truly key to understanding nature, that nature is truly structured in a mathematical way, and that our mathematics, invented by our human mind, is truly the instrument of God, the instrument of the Creator. Lastly, some people wonder if mathematics was invented by man to describe nature, or if we discovered the mathematical properties that were built into nature by a higher power, according to Consul Magno. In the end, it's a little bit of both.
On April 12, 1633, Pope Urban VIII appoints Father Vincenzo Macolani da Fiorenzuola as Chief Inquisitor, and the Inquisition of physicist and astronomer Galileo Galilei begins. Galileo was ordered to surrender to the Holy Office and stand trial for his belief that the Earth revolves around the Sun, which the Catholic Church considered heretical. During the trial, the accused was required to be imprisoned and secluded according to standard procedure.
Galileo was in hot water for the second time for refusing to accept church orthodoxy, that the Earth was the immovable center of the universe. He had been barred from holding or defending his beliefs in 1660. Galileo denied that he held belief in the Copernican view during his interrogation in 1633. But he continued to write about the issue and evidence as a means of discussion rather than belief. Despite the fact that scientists had known for centuries that the Earth was not the center of the universe, the Church decided that the idea that the Sun moved around the Earth was an absolute fact of Scripture that could not be disputed.
In the end, Galileo agreed not to teach the heresy anymore and spent the rest of his life under house arrest. It took more than 300 years for the Church to admit that Galileo was right and to clear his name of heresy. In 1992, Pope John Paul II listed Galileo as excommunication when it became common knowledge that the Earth was not the center of the universe.
And that will be all for Day 8 of BSYA's 13 Days Till Christmas. Once more, I am John Calfuring.
I am Sam Asistio,
And this has been Michael Antasikin signing off.
saying live long and prosper.
So ayan mga ka-spacers, so that was really an interesting video about astronomy and religion. So again, kung meron po kayong mga tanong, if you have any questions or comments or even reactions, please type in your questions, your comments or your reactions in our comment section below. And kung gusto niyo po magpa-shoutout, just type in your name and your location para ma-shoutout po namin kayo. Alright, so in our third and last video, we will be featuring astronomy facts that are out of this world, mga ka-spacers. So very interesting itong third and last video natin for tonight. And again mga ka-spacers, so pakiusap nyo lang, iregalo nyo na po sa akin ito. So like and share this video para maraming estudyante ang makapanood so that they will be inspired to love the sciences. Alright, let us now watch this third video about astronomy facts that are out of this world. Alright, let's go!
astronomy facts that are out of this world. Have you ever wondered if there are different things or facts that actually exist, but people do not know about? If so, do you want to know some astronomy facts that are out of this world? Then, let us tackle that. Good day everyone, I am Justine Maybe Endaza from 11th STEM 4.
And I am Trisha May M. Ramos from 11th STEM 4. Join us as we explore different facts that will surely excite all of us. To start this, did you know that the planet with the hottest surface temperature is not Mercury, but Venus? It is because of the greenhouse effect on its atmosphere. Addition to this, another solar system fact is that you could fit all of the planets between Earth and the Moon. To give you a little context, the average distance between the Earth and the Moon is 238,555 miles or 384,400 kilometers.
Wow, that is fascinating. Since we are already on the topic of Earth science, let's continue to drop more trivias and facts. Brace yourselves because we're about to blow your minds. Firstly, Mercury is the fastest planet in the solar system, with a speed of 47 kilometers per second around the Sun. Since Mercury is the fastest planet and has the shortest distance to travel around the Sun, it has the shortest year of all the planets in our solar system, which is 88 days. Could you imagine 88 days a year? Moving on. The distance between Earth and the asteroid 1566 Icarus is currently 228,187,730 kilometers or 1.53 units. From asteroid 1566 Icarus to us, light travels for 12 minutes and 41.16 seconds. With that in mind, for objects passing extremely close to Earth, the stated distance number may be slightly erroneous around the time of closest approach. In the live position and data tracker, the distance of 1566 Icarus from Earth is also given as a real-time update number. Asteroid 1566 Icarus makes its closest approach to Earth.
The Boomerang Nebula, the coldest object ever discovered, is the coldest spot in the universe. It is in the constellation Centaurus, about 5,000 light-years from Earth. The Boomerang Nebula is a young planetary nebula with a fading red giant star at its center, consisting of reflecting cloud of dust and ionized gases. It was once a star similar to our Sun, and it has been shedding its outer layers as expected as it nears the end of its existence. However, it has been discovered that it is losing mass at a rate of 100 times quicker than other fading stars. Moreover, it is staggering 100 billion times the speed of the Sun. According to NASA, this has resulted in the core star losing approximately 1.5 times the mass of our Sun over the last 1,500 years. And since the gases are being ejected so quickly, at a speed of 100 miles per second or 164 kilometers per second, a lot of heat energy is being ejected as well. Take it away, Justin.
Another fact about this protoplanetary nebula, its deep inner temperature is jaw-dropping, negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 272 degrees Celsius, which means the Boomerang Nebula is only a degree Celsius above absolute zero. According to The Independent, this is over 3 times colder than the temperature recorded throughout domed Fuji, Antarctica in 2010, which was a bone-chilling negative 199.8 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 93.2 degrees Celsius. If there is the coldest object in the universe, there is also the hottest star in our solar system, no other than the Sun. Our Sun is one of over 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and the Milky Way is one of over 100 million galaxies in the universe. Furthermore, the sun's core releases energy equivalent to 100 billion nuclear bombs per second, and that energy travels thousands of years through its layers before it is emitted as heat and light to power the solar system.
Indeed, the sun is literally a star. Moving back to the planets on our solar system, did you know that Venus spins backward on its axis compared to all the other planets in our solar system? Venus and Uranus are the only planets that spin and spinning counter to the rotation of the sun, also referred to as retrograde rotation. On the other hand, the planet Saturn would float on water. It's the only planet in our solar system that would, since it is made up of mostly hydrogen and helium, which are gases and is less dense than water. This planet can float on water. As for the famous Pluto, this dwarf planet is smaller than the United States. To be precise, Pluto is just approximately only as wide as the United States.
Leaving you with the last two facts, the International Space Station completes an orbit of Earth in approximately 90 minutes. The station travels from west to east on an orbital inclination of 51.6 degrees. Each orbit takes 90 to 93 minutes depending on the exact altitude of the ISS. Are you aware that it takes 1 billion seconds for the light from a star 31.7 light years away to reach Earth? In short, it takes sunlight an average of 8 minutes and 20 seconds to travel from the sun to the Earth. Cajigal states that if the sun suddenly disappeared from the universe, not that this could actually happen, don't panic, it would take a little more than 8 minutes before you realized it was time to put on a sweater. Fascinating, isn't it?
This ends our segment titled Astronomy Facts That Are Out of This World for Day 9. We hope you learned a lot more about the world, the universe rather, through our discussion. On behalf of all the BSYA officers and members, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Together, let's reach for the stars. Again, I am Trisha May M. Ramos.
And I am Justine May B. Andaza, saying, live long and prosper.
Alright mga ka-spacers, so very interesting talaga itong ating third video about astronomy facts that are out of this world. So sana po nag-enjoy po kayo sa aming mga videos that was presented tonight. And sana po marami po kayong natutunan ngayong gabi na ito. So again, this is our way of greeting everybody, yung mga ka-spacers natin out there na Happy New Year. And sana maging ligtas tayong lahat sa pandemya na ito. So hindi pa ho tayo tapos sa pandemya, medyo tumataas pa yung mga kaso. So let's continue to stay safe and mag-ingat po tayong lahat. Just take in your vitamins, palakasin po ninyo ang inyong immune system. Alright, so I guess hanggang dito na lang po tayo mga ka-spacers. This is your ka-spacer and space commander, Professor Jun Cajigal, saying, live long and prosper. Maraming salamat po, and again, Happy New Year sa inyong lahat mga ka-spacers natin dyan, and always stay safe. So long for now, bye-bye!